evening, everybody. My name's Andy Ragequit. This is Moose Racing League. It's Sunday, which is MRL day, and you are in for a treat. It is Tier 2 season opener around the street circuit of Singapore, where the racing is close, but the walls are indeed closer. I hope you're all ready for it. I'm looking forward to having a quick look at what this track has to offer then. So it's tight, it's twisty, it's 5 kilometers with 23 turns, 3 DRS zones. Obviously we've got some nice long straights for some overtakes, and we've got that critical turns 16 through 21 where accidents happen, wings are lost, and hopefully overtakes are kept to a bare minimum so that we don't have too many DNFs. Right then, here we go. We're getting ready for the start of the race. Let's see, it's J-Joe on pole with Kermit Attacks joining on the front row in the Red Bull. The McLaren of Fate Man takes P3 with Williams Racing's Chili Willy in P4. Andy in the Mercedes takes P5. And completing the third row, it's Moo Irons in the second Williams. We've got Alpha Tauri's City of R in P7 with Sacco Light Taco in the second Red Bull P8. P9 is Semtex with P10 Landsharky. Georgester in P11 in the Mercedes with the McLaren of Bicos in P12. P13, it is JBTC in the Ferrari with Alpha Tauri's Comp 45 in P14. P15 is Gibbsy in the Alpine with Haas and Ketchin 91 in P16. Echo CFC 17. 18 is Maud, 19 is MB Jacobson, and in P20 at the back of the back is the Aston Martin of AK. I think we just about managed to get through all of those in the right amount of time, because we don't have a formation lap this evening. I'm led to believe that tonight's race is going to start off dry, but we may see some weather at some point in the middle of the race to add to the thrills and spills of Tier 2. And it's Tier 2 showtime with MRL Sunday. That is a horrible camera angle. And J-Joe gets off to an amazing start with Kermit. We do have some places changing at the back of the grid. And we've got a little bit of coming together further back. But it's J-Joe who's managed to get himself away and cleanly, as does Kermit, Fake Mano, Chili, Andy, Iron, City of R, Sacco Light Taco, Semtex. Fake Mano burning through that ERS down the long straight. Getting down towards that corner. Is he going to make a move on the inside? It looks like he is going to make a move on the inside. Oh, and there's contact. Oh, big contact. Huge crash. Huge crash. And Com 45 is out of the race. We've got huge problems in Tier 2 on lap 3. Com 45 out of the race. Chili Willy. Bits of his car all over the road. MB Jacobson. Looks like he might have been caught up in that, but hasn't got any missing parts.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option. There's been an incident.
I think we're going to see, by the time they come out, the rain will be coming down. So we're going to see all these cars throwing themselves into the pits. City of R hasn't got into the pits. He's stayed out for a lap. He stayed out for a lap. That's a huge gamble. Fate Mano, I thought he'd thrown on some hard tyres there. That was a bit of a mistake. 5 second for penalty. 5 second penalty for Gibbsy speeding in the pit lane. Not good. What an absolute catastrophe that was, though. I'm not entirely sure whose fault that was, as Chili Willy and Fate Mano got tangled in that tight right-hand corner after the long straight. Soft song for the last throwings. Right then. When are we going, J-Joe? When are we going, J-Joe? Yeah, there he goes. He goes. He goes. Did he catch Fake Man napping? Possibly. Semtex get caught napping. Somebody's trying to warm their tyres up in front of Sacco. Sacco's got pressure. Didn't get left any room there, I have to say. Oh, Sacco. Steady. This is wet, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. The two Red Bulls are going side by side. Ooh, careful, Red Bulls, careful! Oh, he's going to get a better drive, I think, and he's piled on the ERS. So it's Sacco Light Taco trying to defend in the Red Bull from the Mercedes of Andy. Defends well down into turn 1 and 2. Takes turn 3 a little bit deep and wide. Are we going to see Andy get a run on him then down the long straight after this right-hander? Here they go. Out to the right to try and get the outside line. Goes Andy. Takes the position from Sacco. Is Sacco going to be late onto the brakes in this turn? It looks like he is. But he's not as late on the brakes as Andy is. Andy takes the position. Tiny little bit of contact there between the two. But it's now a Mercedes sandwich between two slices of Red Bull bread. Kermit's lost a little bit of time to Echo. He's going to have Andy for company pretty shortly, and Sacco like Taco is beginning now to drop off the back of Andy and get challenged by the Ferrari of JB. Yellow flag, and it's the Alpine of Semtex who's gone round. At the end of Sector 2, start of Sector 3, he's going to drop all the way back down to P17. P18, he's going to be under pressure from Jordster as well. Yellow flag in Sector 3 is Chilly Willy. He's having an absolute stinker of a day. And the safety car's out. The safety car is out. The prayers have been answered from the Red Bull race engineer. The voice is beginning to get a little strained already. We've had that much action. So we do have some cars in the pits. It's Ketchin, Sacco like Taco, Moo Irons and Jordster throwing themselves into the pits. Let's have a quick double check. We've seen enough of the position change for now. Now then, here we go. Here are the gamblers. So it's Echo, Andy, Ketchin and Jordster all on the medium tyres. Because I don't think it's been the crossover period just yet. When are we going to see this go? And away goes J-Joe with Fake Man, Kermit, JB, AK, Gibbsy, Maud, Sichivar, Echo, all in hot pursuit. He got a good enough launch away, did J-Joe, as did Fake Man. The gaps are pretty even all the way down that field. As we see our medium runner Ketchin drop a position to Iron Boogs. Beacles closing in rapidly on Echo. Let's just have a quick look at this. Oh, he's pushed him round the corner. There's the traction. There's the difference in the two tyres right now then. Beacles makes the pass look easy. It's a big gamble for these guys now. All the medium runners occupy the bottom 6 positions in the classifications. So if you've got inters on right now, you need to get your foot down because eventually it will go dry. And the gamble for the guys on the mediums is that they just need to not knock it into the wall. And just as we're saying it, it's Echo CFC who dumps it into the wall, which gives all of our runners early doors an opportunity. And J-Joe had gone round. J-Joe's gone round. So this is what makes this track and these conditions such a fun thing to watch. J-Joe is out. J-Joe has crashed out. He has DNF'd under safety car conditions at the back of the pack. From glory to absolute turmoil in a little over a lap and a half for J-Joe. 9 laps of racing, which means we are going to get some DRS action. It's gone wet, dry, wet, dry. Jacobson's thrown on some soft tyres at the back of the field here. Is he going to be able to take those soft tyres 9 laps? They will be screaming blue murder at the end, no doubt. Right then. We're almost ready to go green. The safety car is just about to enter the pit lane. There it goes. It's entered the pit lane. Are we going to see Andy go fast, hard and quick? Or is he going to go very slowly around the corner? He does go very slowly around the corner. But they are gone away. Fake Mano. Fake Mano's retired. Fake Mano's retired. He's out. Fake Mano has crashed under safety car conditions. And we've got Maud and Iron Boogs has had to go in the pits. It's gone from hero to 0 for Fake Mano as well.
There's a new strategy available on the MFD.
And as you can see, all the cars are piling in behind him. So it's, as we stand then, it's Andy out in front of this race. Half a second in front of Lansharky, who's got 3 seconds worth of penalties. There's then a 4.7 second gap to Kermit Attacks. There are then queues and queues of people. It's JB, Jordster, City of Art, AK, Gibbsy, and B-Coles, all potentially fighting for the final podium position of this race. There's less than 1 second between all those drivers. There's a huge DI. Good evening, everybody. Happy Moose Day. It's Sunday. That only means one thing. It's Moose Racing League. And tonight, we are going to have an absolute banger. I'm sure of it. It's the USA Grand Prix. And we are at the circuit of the Americas. Hope you're all doing very well. Good evening, Boogs. I hope you're doing well and you're ready to rock and roll, my friend. We've got 17 drivers in the lobby at present, and I've got a few things to run through before we get kicking off with the race. So let me dive straight in. We are going to be seeing the Circuit of the Americas. It's 20 turns, 5.5 kilometers with 2 DRS detection zones. A lot of elevation moving into turn 1. The place where things can go a little bit topsy-turvy at the start of the race. Even Adrian. Hey, I was watching that. Sorry, Adrian. Apologies. Let's go, people. Yes, sign on. How you doing, buddy? Thank you very much, Boogs. I appreciate it. Yeah, I thought I'd better get cracking because it's important that we get on with the COTA stream. It's important stuff, you know. It's important stuff. Hopefully the stream is running okay and we don't have any massive problems. Evening, Decay. Hope you're doing well. Gwenfro. All very good here, my friend. All very good. Ready to rock and roll. I'm excited for this one. I have missed all the races so far this evening because I've been away. I've just got back about 30 minutes ago. So I'm ready to rock and roll. Somebody fill me in what's been happening in tiers 4, 5, and 3. 5, 4, and 3. What's been happening? Tell me. Let me know. Okay, quickly. Let's have a quick look at the race notes. So, it's COTA. It's the first of 2 races we've got in the USA this season, Season 7. And of course, Tier 2 did make the highlight reel last week. It was a resounding victory for Tier 2 in the vote to get the highlight video up and running. This track can have a lot of virtual safety cars. There's obviously a lot of runoff areas. So safety cars don't tend to happen very often, but virtual safety cars are quite popular. And of course, the drivers to watch this week, based on last week's performance in Singapore, it's Kermit, Andy, and Lansharky. We are almost ready to rock and roll. Really clean racing. Tier 3 was insane. Go on, Tier 2. Can you top the Tier 3 show, says Pat. Let's blinking well hope so, Pat. Hope you did well, mate. Hope you enjoyed your comm session with Midnight. Really clean racing. Tier 4. Only DNF was a pit retirement. That's good. Oh, now then, can we live up to the expectations of clean racing? No safety cars. And there's a minimal number of DNFs. That would be most pleasurable on this Sunday. 2 safety cars for Tier 3. Ooh, 2 safety cars for Tier 3. I see. What else have we got in here? Okay, so safety cars have been at a minimum this evening then, by the look of it. Virtual safety cars have been the way to go. Very close to starting. We've now got 20 drivers in the lobby. So I want to make sure that we get you in straight away. Hey, was there any weather, by the way? Have we had any rain at COTA this evening? any weather-affected racing thus far. There's going to be a safety car, and I don't like it, says Boogs. I need to move my laptop over here so I can see the chat, you know? Bit late to do it now, of course. Can't have any of that moving technology rubbish. It's taken me long enough to get the stream up and running. To be of a reasonable quality. Let's hope it sticks it out. So let's have a quick look before the timer starts. The timer's about to start. We are ready to rock and roll, everybody. We are ready to rock and roll. The timer is on. We've got more. Chili Willy, Moo Irons, Com45, Semtex, JBTC, Fake Mano, Andy, B-Call, City of R, Echo, CFC, Ketchen, Sacco Like Taco, MB Jacobson, Gibbsy, Jordster, Landsharky, Kermit Attacks, J-Joe, Atmos, and some guy on comms. That's what we've got so far this evening. Good luck to all the drivers. Hope you are all ready to rock, because we are about to head into short qualifying. No safety car or virtual safety car in Tier 4. Quali had rain as well. Crikey. I'll do my very best, Boogs. Good luck to you in the race. Good luck to everybody else getting behind the wheel this evening. I can't wait, and I know that you can't either, to continue this absolutely sensational Sunday in Moose Racing League. Landshark has left the session. Let's jump and get him back in real quick. We can. Okay. Right then. Make sure we've got your menus up and running. We need to know the tyres. Everybody's going to be on the soft tyre, no doubt, during quali. That would be the way to rock and roll. Full dry, says Boogs. We've had the intel. We've had the intel through. From Austin, Texas. The Circuit of the Americas. It is dry. Ooh, excuse me. And that's Echo. Echo's going to be the first car out. In the Alfa Romeo. Here we go, up that steep elevated part of the track to the highest part of the track at turn 1. And then, of course, it's all downhill from here on in, all the way down through the S's towards the hairpin at the end of the back straight. Obviously, there are some ups as well as downs. But once you get through the S's and you take the hard left at the end of the S section, then you're downhill all the way to the bottom of the straight. Let's get rid of that. Here we go then. Alright, if you want to be on board with Echo during this lap, type 1 in chat. If you want to keep it this view, type 2. Funny feeling we might jump on board. It'd be nice to see on board where these tier 2 drivers take their lines through the various different sections of this quite technical track. With the elevations does make it a little bit difficult. Certainly, dependent upon the setup, of course. To keep the car pointing in the right direction. Here we go then, round the final corner. Pat said 1, so we're going to do 1. Here we go then. First hot lap, DRS, wing wide open. And it's Echo CFC. Not too much traffic in front of him. There's a Red Bull up the hill then. See where he kisses the apex. Beautifully done, Echo, sir. Beautifully done. Swinging wide left to take these turns. Now then, how do we navigate the S's? He was still hard on the throttle in 7th gear, down into 6th, then 5th. Got a yellow flag in Sector 3. Somebody experiencing a little bit of joy. Oh, just about manages to keep the lap valid, does Echo. Down then towards this hairpin. Again, slightly kissing the apex. Well done. Beautifully done. Bright sunshine. Going to make visibility quite difficult. DRS wide open again. All the way down, reaching 194, 195, 196. Got to a maximum of 197 miles an hour there. Missing the sausage curb. This is where it can be a little bit tricky. All in all, what seems like a really good lap so far by Echo. You can lose it here if you're not very careful. Oh, he's done well there as well. I often get it out of shape there. Here we go then, round the final turn. First hot lap of the day. It is a 1:34.5 from Echo. Beautifully done. Here comes Semtex, is it? Moo Irons goes 1:34.2. Oh, and it's... Oh, Semtex loses it on the final corner. He's going to have to sit there and wait. As City of R does a 34.1 to go quickest in that Alpha Tauri. Chili Willy comes through with a 34.4, and Semtex does indeed cross the line for a 44.3. That's his banker, I guess. That's his banker. Going to get himself out of the way. We do have cars crossing the line all the time here that I'm missing. Here comes Maud then. Maud, next one to cross the line. The 35.8 to go 8th fastest. JB's on an outlap. We've got a lot of cars just sitting. Taco like Taco now, probably coming over the line next. Starting his lap. Let's jump with Kermit then. So Kermit in the Red Bull. He's invalidated. We've missed the first. It's B. Coles in the McLaren with a 34 flat. Here comes Atmos. He's just started his lap. Ketchen sets a 34.8. So it's Beco's setting the pace at the moment on provisional pole with a 34 flat, followed by City of R with a 34.1. Not too far behind City of R is Com45. The Alpha Tauri is putting some great times in with a 34.1. George with a 34.2. 34.2 also for Jacobson. What, 1,000th of a second slower than Jordster. Tier 3 pole was a 33.7, says Pat. Okay, well, let's wait for the track evolution to see if we can get a little bit quicker then. We're expecting below 34.7 for these T2 drivers. Sacco then into the final section of this quite speedy track. Technical but speedy. And he invalidates on the final corner. Here's Fake Man on the Tier 2, beg your pardon, Tier 3 Drivers Champion from last year. So that's a purple Sector 1. Might have invalidated there, though. No, for some reason, he hasn't invalidated. Crazy. Crazy McCrazo. Stay on board with Fake Mano. Dumping the ERS, the wing wide open, all the way down the stretch. Remember, 197 was the fastest we saw from somebody other, and that was 198 miles an hour then from Fake Mano. Well, he just about manages to keep it legal there as well. Looked to me like that front left tyre went over the mark. But he survived. Survives this one as well. Straight lining it down the curb. Cutting through the final turn. Here we go. DRS wide open. And he crosses the line for a 33.5. There's your fastest lap. Half a second faster than B. Cole. So it's Fake Mano in the Aston Martin. Provisional pole. And we've beaten the pole time. We've beaten the pole time for Tier 3 by 2/10 already with nearly 10 minutes left to go. JBTC goes 10th fastest. All very tight from P2 down. Very, very tight. Half a second covering the first. Oh, sorry, from P2 down to P12. We've got a McLaren, is it? McLaren coming across the line. 35-1 for Atmos. He'll be looking to improve on that one as the Red Bull comes into the pits, I believe. Kermit's gone third fastest with a 34 flat as well. Lansharky into the pits. Next car we've got out there is, looks like Com's invalidated. Sacco is on an outlap. I think Mano's on his way back into the pits. Chili's on a flyer. I think it's Semtex. Let's jump on board with Semtex. He's close to the end. He is getting himself ready to set another lap. Couple of Haas in there. Ketchen on an outlap. MB Jacobson on an outlap also, is he? I don't know. That just changed. He was on an outlap. He's now not on an outlap. But he is just setting himself up. 1 a.m. He says Fake Mano should be in bed. Oh, we're trying to catch somebody on a hot lap. Okay, here we go. City of R then, who held provisional pole briefly. He's just setting himself up for another lap. He calls on an outlap. Atmos diving into the pits. We've got a lesser spotted Semtex on his way down that long back straight then. Keep your eyes peeled on some of these times. Also reaches 198 miles an hour down that back stretch. Yellow flags up in Sector 1. That is a purple Sector 2 for Semtex. Can he hold it together though? Towards that last final turn where he binned it last time. Invalidates on the final turn. Invalidates, dives into the pits. Sacco like tackle, by the way. We'd missed Sacco's lap. Sacco set a 1:33.9. Here comes Kermit then. Strong showing from Red Bull so far. In P2 and P4. Still Fake Mano out in front, only with a 33.5. So 600ths up is Kermit. 600ths at the moment would put him into P3, just about, ahead of B-Coles. B-Coles looks like he's out on track as well, though. As Andy sets a, well, there we go, 33.4 for Andy, but immediately bested by J-Joe, setting a 33.1. We'll stick on board with B-Coles then. So it's J-Joe out in front, provisional pole, followed by Andy and Fakeman. Now it's a strong showing by the Aston Martins in P1 and 3. Some serious pace in this tier, boys. B-Coles comes round the final turn. He's going to be in the 33s. Yes, P4 for B-Coles with a 33.7. How's Kermit getting on? 3/10 up now, Kermit. How's Kermit's Sector 3 bin? How's Kermit's Sector 3 bin? Goes second fastest, 33.4 for Kermit, but it's still J-Joe out in front. That is indeed fast, Ducati. I'm not joking. Those are some quick times right there. We've got a couple of Who've just dived into the pits. Got a Ferrari coming around the corner. There's the Ferrari. So that's Maud going up into P18 now with a 35.2. Looks like City of R. Here comes City of R then. Rides that sausage. No, dives into the pits. Not happy. Not happy. Trying to find this car that's coming through now. That was Moo Irons going into the pits. So where's Lansharky then? He was one of our drivers to watch. Here he is. 34.2 for Lansharky to go 12th fastest. Got Gibbsy now, I think. Gibbsy coming around the final turn. A little bit slow in the middle of Sector 2. Takes it very cautiously around the final turn. And he was just setting himself up, that's why. Let's stay on board then with Gibbsy in the Alpine. Up to the elevated part of the track at turn 1. Doesn't quite kiss the apex. Stays reasonably narrow as well coming into turn 2. 6th gear, 7th gear. How long is he going to stay in 7th? 9th, 6th now perhaps? Yes. Maybe 5th now? Oh, he stayed in 6th. Into 4th then as we exit the S's. Beautifully taken that section though. Looking like a better lap this from Gibbsy. See what kind of improvement Gibbsy's making then. What's his pace like down this back straight? 197, 197, only 197. Maud's crashed out. Or has Maud given up in the pits? Looks like Maud might have given up in the pits. So many yellow flags kicking around, it's difficult to try and ascertain what we got. So we've got 2 minutes 50 left. Gibbsy then. Invalidated, Gibbsy, invalidated. No good for the Alpine. He's going to have to go round again. Turn that ERS off and get himself back in the mix. Because we got Fake Mano here. Fake Mano doesn't invalidate. And goes second fastest. It's an Aston Martin front row lockout. Front row lockout. With 2 minutes of qualification left to go. Strong showing from our Aston Martins tonight. 34-1 for J-Joe. 34-3 for Fake Mano, the Tier 3 champion from Season 6. Here comes Sacco. Sacco's next through. No, he's just starting himself a lap. Try and hop on with somebody who's at the process of finishing a lap. Everybody's just starting their final laps now then. We're into shootout territory. Ferrari JB, the Ferrari JB, he's just trying to get himself a new lap set. We've then got the McLaren of Atmos. No, it's Beacles. Beacles setting himself up for a final hit. We've then got Andy, he's setting himself up. Where's George to what's he up to? George just setting himself up. Here comes Echo. Echo was invalidated. He's invalidated. He must be diving into the pits, surely. Yeah, he's going to dive in the pits. Chili's invalidated. That's Lansharky retired in the pits. .600 slower is JBTC. Taco like taco. getting a little bit of teamwork happening there. So we're going to jump. Kermit's going to be the final guy to finish a lap. Let's keep our eye on the classifications. But Kermit's going to be the last person who can challenge pole. Front row lockout so far then for Aston Martin, J-Joe and Fake Mano. We've got two Mercedes coming around the final turn. And it's Andy taking pole by 1/100th of a second from J-Joe. So close to catch. Oh, and Kermit loses it going around that final corner. So he's going to be in fourth. J-Joe claims pole back off Andy with a 33.050. MB Jacobson, he's going to come around. He's, I think he's slower by some considerable distance. Yep, he is. Sacco like Taco. He's done. City of R, he's going to cross the line. He's done. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your qualification done. It is J-Joe in the Aston Martin out in front on pole position. Joining him on the front row is going to be Andy, last week's race winner in the Mercedes, with the second Aston Martin of Fake Mano. In P3, he's joined on the second row by Kermit Attacks in the Red Bull with the McLaren of B. Coles and Chili Willy's Williams Racing on the third row. MB Jacobson and Iron Boogs are P7 and 8. Sacco Like Taco P9 with Ketchum P10. Jaws to P11. The Alpine of Semtex in P12 with the AlphaTauris double stacked in P13 and 14. It's City of R and Com45. McLaren and Ferrari then, P15 and 16 with the Ferrari of JBTC 15, Atmos 16. Lansharky, strong showing last week, down in P17, followed by his teammate Echo CFC, P18 in those Alfa Romeos, with Maud in P19 and then Gibbsy in P20 at the back of the pack. Yo, what's good, Jordan? How you doing? You right, mate? Yeah. Giants fan is absolutely spot on. Please do not forget to hit that like button on this video. Let's make sure that we are kicking the algorithm in the teeth and make sure that Moose Racing League gets plenty of traction moving forward. Ducati says he'd have qualified P14. Sheesh. Also, don't forget, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, if you like Formula One, if you like a little bit of sim racing of a Sunday evening, make sure you subscribe, because we have 5 tiers 5 through 1, which race every Sunday. And then for an added bonus, not only have we got 5 tiers, we've also got a no assists tier that our good friend Yellow Snowman won the inaugural championship for that last season in season 6. Here we go then. 3 red lights, 4, 5 red lights. It's COTA, it's tier 2, and it's showtime! The Mercedes gets an enormous start up on the inside. We've got problems. Oh dear, we have issues. It is a J-Joe, our pole sitter, at the back. Mr. Saturday himself is now at the back of the grid. So it's the Mercedes of Andy out in front, followed closely by Fake Mano, Chili Willy. Then in that Williams in P3, Kermit Attacks maintaining P4 in the Red Bull. A second Williams of Moo Irons in P5 with Sacco Like Taco. 3 positions up, I believe, in that Red Bull is. Look at the changes that we've had. We are not even halfway through the first lap. And Echo CFC is up 10 places with 18 places down for Jejo, 4 places down for Atmos, 8 down for Ketchen, and 11 down for Beacles. What a mess on turn 1. As Moo Irons takes P4 from Kermit. Oh, a little bit of contact potentially through the 2 Red Bulls there. Don't want to see any of that, gents. As Sacco Light Tackle goes through on Kermit. So the 2 Red Bulls trading positions. Do we have... Oh, we've got an end plate missing on Kermit. That's why he's going slow. So Kermit's going to have to dive into the pits. Just about manages to maintain that position as he dives into the pits. Who else have we got going into the pits then? Sacco Light Taco in P5. But it's Andy in the Mercedes out in front, followed by Fake Mano, Chili Willy, Moo Iron, Sacco Like Taco, Com45, Echo, CFC, Georgester and Semtex, possibly trading a few positions as we go through turns 2. Through the S's, we've got to be very careful through here, gentlemen. Because we've got yellow flags in Sector 1. That looks like a spun Gibbsy. As Andy just pulling out of DRS range. So at the end of this lap, DRS will be activated. Red Bulls are looking good, Toby. It's a shame one of them's had to dive into the pits and now sits in P20. He's the only car that had to go in the pits there. There was a lot of fiberglass on the road to say it was only one car. Are we going to see George to get close enough to make a move on Semtex? I don't think we are. Maud, who's up plenty of positions though. He's taken a position of City of R in that Ferrari. Beautifully done that by Maud. So the top 4 runners all out of DRS range of the car in front. We have another yellow flag, Sector 3 this time. Quick look at the the tyres, should I say, not the taps. Losing my marbles tonight, folks. Losing my marbles. So Andy's pulled a second out on Fake Mano, who's pulled a second, 1.2 seconds in fact, out on Chili Willy. We've then got a 2-second gap back to Moo Irons, who's got Sacco Like Taco for company. Sacco Like Taco was looking strong during qualification. Sacco's pulled out 1.7 seconds as Beacles and Jejo are exchanging places. Jejo making his comeback drive here, down from P20 up to P17 now. He's just lost a position to catch and gains it back though. So there's definitely some fighting going on down in the lower reaches of the classification so far. As you can see, most of our runners on the medium tyre. We've got Com45, City of R, Land Sharky, Jejo and Ketchen on the hard tyre with the soft tyre now for Atmos. He must have dived into the pits to throw that soft tyre on. Wants to try and make up some ground early doors. Beacles and Land Sharky trading places yet again. We got some tussling and fighting going on. Beacles has drained that ERS battery, by the way. Echo and Com side by side coming in towards the S's. Beg your pardon, coming in towards the end of the... Good Lord. End of the lap. Side by side through the final turn. And it's a yellow flag. And it's Com45 who's lost out there. He's in the wall on the left-hand side just before the final turn. He's going to drop all the way down to the back of the grid. Certainly P18. See why Kermit's got such a big gap here. That isn't a big gap. That isn't a big gap for Kermit. It's not a 20-second gap at all. There we go, 4-second gap. And he now does have Fake Mano for company, though. Fake Mano's gained some time. You can see the gap he's put onto Chili Willy, leading up to the hairpin turn. Hugging the right-hand side of the track all the way down. 188, 189 miles an hour we get up to. Atmos picks up our first track limits penalty. 3 seconds to Atmos. In the McLaren. Semtex and Echo change positions yet again. Let's jump on board with them real quick. So we've got a four-way tussle here for P6. It's Semtex, Echo, Jolster and MB Jacobson. Sacco like Taco still clinging onto the back of Moo Irons as well. Battling for P4. J-Jo now making his way up to P14. We might see J-Jo making a move on somebody very shortly. It's JB. It's B-Coles on the back. Sorry. JBTC on the back of B-Coles. He's got Landsharky, J-Jo, Ketchum for company. Lots of little tussles all the way through this grid. There's something's happened to Gibbsy because he's lost out now to Kermit. Kermit back up into P19. J-Jo trying to go around the outside, is he? Trying to go around the outside of Landsharky. A good view from the rear wing camera of JBTC. Landsharky does manage to keep his nose out in front. Looks like it was probably going to be a warning for JB. Oh, there's the Ferrari of Maud. Pointing the wrong way. On board with Landsharky then. Not too far away from the Ferrari of JB, but he does have this J-Jo Aston Martin for company with Ketchen in the Haas. Not too far behind that. As Atmos and City of R exchange places a couple of times further on down the field. They're 7 seconds now off the back of Ketchen, who's hanging onto the back of this group. Gibbsy is having himself a moment. He's gone round again in Sector 1 at the turn, at the first turn. He's going to have to get his foot down, is Gibbsy now. Excuse me. Great pace here from Landsharky. As JB dives into the pits. Doesn't look happy. He's only on 4-lap-old medium tyres, so I'm not too sure what's happening with JB. Does he need a wing? He does need a front wing. He does need a front wing. He's going to drop all the way back now. Let's get back on board with Semtex and Echo then. Fate Mano now 4.3 seconds ahead of Chili Willy. The front two pulling out yet again. Very similar to last week's race. Sacco like Taco's taken that position. He's up into P4. He's taken the position from Irons. Red Bull sat in P4. But here comes Moo Irons. Takes the position back. Obviously had the advantage of the DRS down the long back straight. Is there more traction though for Sacco like Taco? Is he going to be able to get back at Moo Irons as we go through towards the back end of this Sector 3? Around the very long, quick right-hander. Full throttle down if you're brave enough. And then down into 5th gear. Into the final bit then. A little bit wide there. A little bit deep goes Sacco like Taco. Is he going to be able to get the DRS? Here it comes. Let's have a quick look. Should we look from the back? Let's have a look at the back from Irons then. Here comes Sacco like Taco, the Red Bull, going for the inside line. Up into turn 1, the elevated section. There we go. Is he going to have enough? He is going to have enough, Sacco like Taco. Can he make it stick through the S's though? That's the big question. As we go right, left, right. Oh, almost a bit of contact there as Sacco goes deep into that turn. There is contact then. But his Irons does pull back out in front then. And all the time those guys have been fighting Semtex. Semtex is up on the gearbox of Sacco like Taco with Echo CFC not far behind. Punji says, come on McLaren, let's get that recovery on. And they're in good shape. Atmos in P15 and Bcos in P10. Certainly in better position than they were a couple of laps ago. Here comes Sacco like Taco then. Again, on Iron Boogs, down into that tight left-hander. It's Sacco like Taco taking P4 back. Semtex and Echo exchanging positions then through the technical part of this track. On lap 7 of 28. A right old tussle happening as Semtex and Echo trading places yet again. Some wonderful battles happening on track tonight. Absolutely brilliant. Great racing. Couple of mistakes. But mistakes lead to opportunity. So are we going to see again then? Are we going to see that Williams of Moo Irons making its way up to turn 1 to take the position? We are not. He's too far back. Sacco like Taco gets his foot on the throttle again as we run through all those races. Here we go then, on board with MB Jacobson through the S's. All the cars in front of him snaking through. Here we go. He stayed in 7th, down in 6th now. The final left-hand turn of the beg your pardon, next to last left-hand turn of the S's. Here we go. There's the last left-hand turn of the S's. And here we go then, all the way down to the hairpin. A line of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars then. The DRS train is real. Oh my Lanta, as your boy Punji would say for sure. Here comes Moo Irons then. He's looking to go round the outside of Sacco. Looks like it's going to have to be a switchback though. No, it isn't. Sacco like Taco. Great defensive work from him. Holding the inside line. Managing to get the traction down at the exit of that hairpin turn. Oh, as we're behind, we see the Alpine. The Alpine of Semtex. Getting ready to try and make a move on Echo CFC. As Andy and Fake Mano continue to extend the gap back to Chili Willy in P3. Chili Willy's got a very lonely race at the minute. 5 seconds in front of Sacco and 5.6 seconds behind Fake Mano. Catches a 3-second penalty. That's the second of our drivers with the penalty for multiple track limits warnings. Sacco has problems through the S's again, allowing Moo Irons to sneak back up on the rear. Oh, little snaps that though. Snap there from Moo. And that's allowed Echo to get right on the gearbox. Here we go then. On the gearbox of Moo Irons is Echo. Is he going to make a move down into that left turn? He is not. He's going to wait. He's going to have DRS. But he's also going to have Semtex and Georgester and MB Jacobson all for company down this long straight. Are we going to see a move down into the hairpin turn? Not the hairpin turn. The left turn. You know which turn I meant, didn't you? Oh, my Lana. We don't see any action there. No action whatsoever. I feel like we're too zoomed in here, you know. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, in the description, if you're new to Formula 1, and if you're new to sim racing, and you like what we've produced here at Moose Racing League over the course of this Sunday evening, Sunday is Moose Day. That means that we have a description with a link in it that allows you to go down and click join the Discord, hop in, find out a little bit more about the drivers, the league, if you're interested in joining. And of course our socials are in there as well. We've got yellow flags. It looks like a Gibbsy moment again in the S's. And he is going to have Andy and Fake Manuel for company very, very shortly. Sacco like Taco, by the way, has taken 1 second out of Chili Willy in that P3. So it's a beautiful drive so far from Sacco like Taco. Started off in P8, up into P4. Let's have a quick look at the position changes actually while we're on. So far, the winners of the day are Echo, up 12 positions in P6 in that Alfa Romeo. We've also got 5 positions made up for Semtex, for Land Sharky, and for Sacco Like Taco. He started in P9 then. The big losers of the day so far, of course, J-Jo, our pole sitter, who span out at turn 1, lap 1, and then plummeted all the way to the bottom of the field. He's made his way back up to P11 though, and it's Kermit Attacks, who was 3rd or 4th on the grid. He's plummeted all the way down to P15 now after being at the back of the grid with damage on lap 1. We've got a Ferrari round. It looks like it's Maud round. P18, Sector 2 for Maud through the S's. The S's claiming victims tonight. Fake Man and Andy still extending the gap. 7.8 seconds now. 7.9 seconds. Back to Chilly Willy in P3. What's the ERS situation like? 33% for Andy. Only 16% for Fake Mano as they maneuver their way through those S's. Slowly but surely catching up with Gibbsy. Gibbsy's at the hairpin now, and our boys here, Andy and Fake Mano, are on the way down to that hairpin. Should be able to see Gibbsy not too far into the distance as they get down onto the long straight. It's still 8/10, so he's still within DRS range. They're just pulling each other along over it. Just see Gibbsy in the distance there, going round that hairpin. Going that left-hand turn, I beg your pardon. Kermit is definitely on a recovery drive. Up into P14. And Sacco Like Taco now has put some distance between himself and that chasing pack. So Moo Irons, Echo CFC, Semtex and Jordster are now off the back of Sacco Like Taco, who's reeling in Chilly Willy. Down the gap to 3.9 seconds now. The Red Bull is podium hunting as we're on lap 11 of 28. Yellow flag, Gibbsy is DNF'd in the pits. He's had enough for the day. He was about to get swallowed up by our front 2 runners and has called it a day. Into the pits then, we've got Moo, Iron, Semtex and Jordster. They've all made the move. So those medium tyres lasted 11 laps then. Sacco Like Taco's taking his more. So is it an undercut or an overcut kind of track? That's what we need to know. Sacco Like Taco is going to push hard now, no doubt. 3.4, 3.2 seconds the gap now to Chilly Willy. Really reeling in that Williams. As we've got another, what was that? I don't know what we had there. We had yellow flags in Sector 2 for a moment. It is tight here. So Kermit up into P11. Obviously not pitted yet. Moo Irons has. City of R has not. So City of R and Kermit are now sandwiching the car of Irons, who came out in P12 on the fresh tyre. It might not have warmed up yet, though. So you've got 3 cars in the background there. You've got a Mercedes, an Alpine, and an Alpha Tauri. No, absolutely, Toby. He is gaining. He's down to 3 seconds now. As Fake Mano and Andy throw themselves into the pits. Who's had the quick pit stop? Chilly Willy takes the lead of the race. Into the pits comes Sacco Like Taco. So it's Andy, Fake Mano, Echo, MB Jacobson and Sacco Like Taco into the pits. Where are they going to filter out? Looks like they're going to filter out possibly right in the middle of this pack. Right in the middle of this pack then. Here we go. Wow. As Kermit goes round the outside of Echo. Echo obviously on the fresh tyres, still cold. Kermit's made the move with those warmer tyres. They are 11 laps old. Not sure they're going to last much longer, but he has managed to make the move. And he might be able to get himself out of DRS range if these tyres these hard tyres now of Echo take a little while to warm up. Be interesting to see if Chili Willy pits in this lap. No, he is going to have DRS. Echo is going to have DRS on Kermit. Sacco hit the pit wall on the way into the pits. No, Sacco! That explains why he came out at the back of that pack then. So he was in the pack with Echo, Moo, Semtex, Jordster and MB Jacobson. He went in leading that pack. He's come out at the back of it. Chili Willy and Beacles dive into the pits then. But Kermit stays out. That's an absolute sucker punch for Sacco like Taco. Beacles is going to come out behind the Alpha Tauri of Com45, who's yet to pit. So it's Beacles now at the rear of that group. Chili Willy then came back out in P6. P3 still on track. He's done really, to be fair, he's done really well there because the gap was a lot smaller than that when Sacco dived into the pits. Semtex takes a position off City of R. The two Alpha Tauris yet to come into the pits. They are going on the hard tyre strategy though. So they're going to be quicker at the end of the race on the medium tyre. A little bit deep into that from Kermit. Those tyres might be getting a little bit too old now. He loses out of position to Echo. Echo then takes P7. Kermit P8. It's Moo Irons now, P9. Let's catch up with our leaders again then. So it's Andy's managed to pull out a considerable gap on Fake Mano as well. The gap was 0.8 between Fake Mano and Andy. Now there is a slice of J-Joe bread. Sorry, a slice of J-Joe meat in that sandwich. Andy 3 seconds out in front, so 3.5 seconds out in front of Fake Mano now is competition for this race win so far. JB captures a 3-second penalty for track limits. Looks like it could have been a warning there for Andy as well, by the way. So 4 drivers have got penalties. Com45, JB, Atmos and Ketchen. Is J-Joe just trying to help his teammate? It's like Fake Mano's trying to warm them tyres up. It's down the inside then. Down the inside goes Fake Mano. Atmos picks up his second 3-second penalty. Looks like a good day for Aston Martin. But of course, J-Joe does have to come back into the pits. We've got something happening a bit further on down the track. As it's MB Jacobson perhaps gone round, is it? Or is it just have a lot of racing action here? So, Sacco like Taco making a recovery himself now. So lap 16, Maud picks up 3 seconds. Lap 68 of 28, it's Andy, followed by Fake Mano, J-Joe, Ketchen 91, Land Sharky 77, it's Chili Willy 006 in P6. P7 is Echo CFC with Moo Irons in P8. As J-Joe does indeed dive into the pits, that's going to shake up that order I was just running through. George to P12 with Sacco like Taco, P13. That car coming out of the pits. That was a very quick pit stop from J-Joe. Felt it anyway. Oh, little twitch, a little mistake from Georgester as Sacco picks up 3 seconds. Sacco gets a little bit of contact behind from J-Joe. Down to the hairpin. Sacco like tackle. Looks like he's going to make a move. No, gets a little bit squirrely. Loses position out to J-Joe then. And he's going to have MB Jacobson for company now. All the way down to that thing. As out in front, we see J-Joe take the position from Georgester. Gets it done before the left turn. Let's see how these tyres are lasting for Kermit. Is he trying to get these tyres to a point where he can bang some softs on? That's the question. He is, you know. He's trying to take these to a point where he can put softs on. He stayed out longer than the 2 hard runners. Surely the 2 hard runners will go throw some mediums on. As they tumble down the order. Yes, they throw mediums on. So it's Ketchin and Lansharkey throw the medium tyre on. The gap between Andy and Fake Mano now is 4 seconds. We've then got 9 seconds to Chili Willy. 3 seconds to Echo. 2.4 seconds back to Irons. Irons has got Semtex for company. And it looks like City of Art is going to have Georgester and Sacco like Taco and MB Jacobson for company on this lap 17 of 28. Doesn't look like he's making much of an impact here, Semtex on Moo. Wasn't quite close enough to make the DRS and ERS work. Sector 2, yellow flag. Sector 2, yellow flag. And it's Kermit. Kermit's gone round. Kermit's in an incident. And he's in an incident with J-Joe. A drive-through penalty for Kermit as well. That's a shocker for him. It was Con45 who got tangled up with J-Joe and Kermit. This means then now, as we start lap 18, it's Andy in the Mercedes, 4.5 seconds out in front of Fake Mano in the Aston Martin. Chili Willy in the Williams, still in P3. 10 seconds back, though, from Fake Mano. He's going to have Echo for company within the next couple of laps. If Echo can keep this pace up, 2.8 seconds with Semtex now, 2.3 seconds. He's dropped off the back a little bit. Dropped off the back of... No, he hasn't. He's overtaken Iron Boogs. Told me, no, Kermit started on the medium tyre, mate. Oh, he must have started on the higher, beg your pardon. He must have started on the hard, beg your pardon. So here comes Iron Boogs then, not quite close enough to make a move on Semtex, down into that hard 90-degree left-hand turn. Honestly, Punju, he's driving me wild. Yeah, Gwenfro, he's looking like he's quick, mate. He's looking like he has quick. Obviously, he won last week at Singapore. It doesn't look like it's going to be anything other than a safety car that could possibly stop him tonight either. Or a mistake, let's say. Sacco like tackle up into P3 then. So here's the penalty situation at the moment. 3 seconds for Sacco like tackle, 3 for Ketchin. 3 for JB, 3 for Com, 3 for Maud, and it's 6 for Atmos. We've got some seriously distinct groups of racing here. The midfield is stacked from Sacco like Taco all the way down to Lansharkey Not many gaps at all. Then the rest of the field, there are gaps aplenty. But the racing is behind Sacco like Taco. And Moo Irons obviously up and around the gearbox of Semtex. Echo now down to 1.9, 1.8 seconds behind Chilly Willy, who's dropped further back. The podium position for Chilly Willy under threat as we speak, as the gaps behind close down. The accordion effect. Can Sacco like Taco in this Red Bull then? He's had good pace throughout this race. If it wasn't for the pit wall on the way into the pits a few laps ago, he would be up and around some of these guys in front. Big fan of the Moo finally catching on, says Pogs. I'll root for the person whose name I can say best, Pogs. And it isn't Iron Moo, Moo Iron Boogs. Drives me crackers. Drives me crackers. So Sacco like Taco, 4.1 seconds off the back. Does have that 3-second penalty. He's got to get a gap. He's got to bridge that gap, that 3-second gap. Only 1.8, 1.7 seconds at the moment. Back to Georgester. As we jump on board now with Echo in the Alfa Romeo, we can see the car of Chilly Willy now out in front. He's reeling him in real fast now. The gap down from 3 seconds not so many laps ago down to 1.4 on lap 20 of 28 here at the Circuit of the Americas. Beautiful sunny day as Com45 sets our fastest lap of the day so far. Kermit's thrown some soft tyres on. City Bar still on the medium tyre. Fresh medium tyres though. Must have been a mistake from Echo there. He's just lost half a second. Or maybe Chilly was just kind of chilling for a few laps. Maybe it was Chilling Willy. What do you mean you're washed big time, Ducati? Absolutely not. Categorically not. You're not washed. Yellow flag in Sector 2. It is JBTC in the Ferrari who's gone round. His teammate overtakes him, so Maud takes P17. Back to 1.3 seconds then the gap from Echo. That little mistake behind him. Focusing purely now on the car in front, which is Chilly Willy in the Williams, currently sat in P3. The third step on the podium. It's Andy, though, out in front in that Mercedes. 4.9, 5 seconds out in front. Not to be seen, Fake Mano. There we can see the Mercedes going round the corner out in front. 7 laps of racing to go. A little bit of squirreling coming out of there. Then a recovery drive from J-Jo in the Aston Martin as well. Might find himself in the dock with the stewards though this week. Did seem to come together with Kermit attacks earlier on in this race. Whose fault it was to be determined as Kermit now sets the fastest lap of the race at 36.2. Sacco like Taco then still 1.6 seconds in front of J-Jo. He did put a gap onto Georgester, but J-Jo has overtaken him. 1.5 seconds. I tell you what, Moo's dropped off the back. Must have been some kind of mistake there. Sector 2 mistake again. It's Maud this time by the look of it. Is Echo going to be able to bridge this gap then? 1.4 seconds. Andy out in front. Fake Mano. JB picks up 3 seconds. Fake Mano in P2. P3 Chilly Willy. P4 Echo CFC. It's Moo Irons, Iron Boogs. Moo Irons, Iron Moos in P5 with Semtex P6. Sacco like Taco up into P7 with J-Jo P8. 3 second penalty though with Sacco like Taco. Might be better off trying to defend as best he can, but maybe J-Jo's going to get past. It's George to them, P9 with MB Jacobson, P10 in the Haas. The McLaren of B-Coles in P11 with Ketchin in the second of our Haas in P12. It's Lan Sharkey with the Alfa Romeo, P13. And then we've got a 12-second gap back to City of R in the AlphaTauri with Atmos in the McLaren. Yellow flags in Sector 3. It looks like it's Kermit. Kermit's gone round. Not a race for Kermit. And it's Com45 sticking on a front wing. So something occurred there that we didn't see. Something occurred that we didn't see. Back up towards the head of the field then. Hey Pete, how you doing? Hey Sizzle! Tolby to tier 4, says Tolby. Get it changed on your birth certificate. Sacco putting a lot of time into Semtex, says Tolby. The Semtex dive into the pits, actually. What's he doing? Throwing on some softs? Yeah, on go the soft tyre. One of the shortest pit stops this track. Now then, 2.7 seconds the gap between Jordster and Sacco like Taco. Can Sacco pull out that 3/10 he needs? Sacco has indeed been overtaken by J-Jo, who finds himself back up into P6. As Sacco like Taco picks up a second 3-second time penalty, that is going to be absolute pain for him towards the back end of this race then, with 5 laps left of racing to go. No cap, says Dwayne. Cap, says Kayla. I don't know whether it's cap or no cap. Taco like Taco's going to have to drive like Blue Thunder now. He's got to stay on the back of J-Jo. He's got to stay in that DRS zone. But we've got J-Jo who's all over the back of Iron Boogs. And he's just pulled away from Sacco. Absolutely pulled away from him. Out of DRS range already. He has put a 3-second gap down to Jordster though as Sacco. Echo now right on the back as J-Jo does indeed overtake Iron Moose. Iron Moose, oh my days. Echo, this is the battle then for that 3rd step on the podium. As his teammate goes round, looks like Land Sharky went round there at turn 1. Here we go then. Here we go. Let's have a look from the back wing of Chilly Willy. Not making an impact. Not making an impact. Com picks up 3 seconds. That's his second penalty. A little lock up there from Echo as he's chased down Chilly Willy. Picks up 3 seconds but does indeed set the fastest lap of the race. Maud. Another 3 seconds for Maud. Oh! A mistake from the Williams. A mistake from the Williams of Chilly Willy allows Echo through. On that final turn. Oh, another mistake. Or is he just glitching though? Iron Moose. Come on, Sacco. Chase down. Chilly Willy then. What can Chilly Willy? Can Chilly Willy respond? Beautifully driven through the S's, if I do say so. By both drivers, in fact. Gap 6/10. 5/10. So jump on with Echo then. What's that front line speed going to be like from the Williams? Here comes the Williams of Chilly Willy. As Maud crashes out, does he? No, Maud goes into the pits and retires in the pits. Chilly Willy gets the move done round the outside before the hairpin. JB picks up lots of penalties flying around here, guys. Lots of penalties. Kermit throws on some fresh softs. Looking to try and get himself that fastest lap to take points away from people further up the field. Look back from Chilly Willy's rear wing. More yellow flag. Oh, that was Maud's car coming out of the pits. Thankfully, it's disappeared. Three seconds for Fake Mano. No danger there for Andy then, as on lap 26 of 28, Andy 5 seconds clear, plus the 3-second penalty. Fake Mano's 10 seconds clear of Chilly Willy. So he can cruise through to pick up P2. This is your battle then for the final position of the podium. And Echo gets out of shape as Chilly Willy goes off track. That's going to give Chilly Willy some breathing space. It's also going to allow JJo to close right back up now towards Echo. It's a 2-second gap. Sacco Light Tackle 0.6 seconds behind Iron Boogs. New irons. Echo pushing hard, making a couple of mistakes. JB DNFs in the pit lane as well. Hopefully his car doesn't come back out on track and cause us any mayhem. Oh, he is. The car is coming back on track, but the Red Bull and the Williams are past it. Going to see a great shot here from the rear wing of Iron Boogs through those S's. The Red Bull in hot pursuit. George's done well as well to keep within that 3 seconds of Sacco Light Tackle, even though Sacco's now got 6 seconds worth of penalties. We're on lap 27 of 28. The penultimate lap. Sacco's going to want to get this done on track. Down the inside he goes. Late on the brakes, a little bit of contact there, a little bit of contact. Oh, around goes Iron Boogs! We are indeed on lap 28. Let's jump on board with Andy then. He goes through into the S's for the last time. Kermit picks up 3 seconds. He has picked up the fastest lap, though, while he's at it. Here comes Andy, then beautifully done in the Mercedes through those S's. For the 28th and final time. Still plenty of ERS to spare. He's actually dumping some ERS now. Maybe he's trying to get that fastest lap of the race. Who knows? Down the long straight. Still dumping ERS. Wanting to use the absolute limit of that battery. 3/10 up on his fastest lap so far. So maybe that's his plan. It's into the final few corners then. Comes Andy in that Mercedes. Silver Arrow. Round the final corner. Onto the straight. To take the win. And the US Grand Prix is won by Andy in the Mercedes. We're going to have Fake Mano taking P2 in the Aston Martin. Chilly Willy's going to hang on, is he? Chilly Willy's going to hang on to claim the third step in the podium. It's Echo CFC in P4. J-Jo, great recovery drive from him and a good day for Aston Martin as he gets back up to P5. Sacco like Taco in P6. He's going to drop 3 positions though as it's Moo Irons taking P6. Jaws to P7. MB Jacobson in the Haas P8. Sacco like Taco then P9 with Semtex P10 in the Alpine. Ketchen, the second of our Haas, is in P11 with Beekles in the McLaren P12. Land Sharky P13. City of Ours going to finish P14 in the AlphaTauri with Atmos, the second McLaren, going to come round the final bend to claim P15. Kermit Attacks is on the final lap of his race. He is going to come through in that Red Bull. He's going to take P16 with Com45, who was a lap down, took P17. It's going to be JB, TC and Maud in the 2 Ferraris, 18 and 19 DNFing with, unfortunately for Gibbsy in P20 in the second Alpine. Good day for Merck. Well done, Iron Boogs. Good drive from you. Yeah, with battery to spare. Outrageous. Driver of the day, Echo CFC, who leaves the session. Right on cue. There we go then. That George Russell up on the podium. The same George Russell, a.k.a. Andy, that we saw last week, picking up yet another trophy. 2 wins back-to-back at Singapore and COTA for Andy in the Mercedes. So we were right. He was one to watch. He was one to watch for tonight. Are my 3 drivers there for some action? Do we have any drivers here for some interview action? We do. The interview waiting room. We've got drivers in the interview waiting room. I can't wait. How do I move him, though? How do I move him? Andy.
Hello.
Good evening, sir. How are you? Congratulations.
I'm doing great, man.
I thought you might be. I thought you might be.
Yeah. The quality was pretty good. And the race was just. I got 2 warnings, so I got pretty scared when I got that second one so early. But
Yeah.
all in all, I'm very happy right now. Can't say otherwise.
Brilliant. Yeah, well, fantastic drive. Qualification, obviously you were outdone in quality by J-Jo, but obviously you got off the line so quick. You were at turn 1, and then obviously J-Jo had a huge mistake at turn 1, which really kind of messed his race up. But then you were out in front and you never looked back.
Yeah, to be honest, in that turn 1, I was just trying to get a good start, and I was very happy when I actually made it work as well. And
Yeah.
I was also on the faster tire on the start that and J-Jo was on hards. So I just tried to get ahead and keep that lead from the get-go. I didn't really see what happened with him in turn 1, but I saw he tumbled down the order, and that's unfortunate, to say the least.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate, but you know it is what it is. You took advantage of it, and yeah, you've come out, you've won the race. I don't know whether you stole the fastest lap there at the end.
No, definitely not. Both
Definitely not.
players were pretty dead there at the end, but I tried get at least the fastest I could go on all my laps, so I got that. But no fastest laps, just
You'll have to make do with your 25 points this week then.
yeah,
Next week we're on to Hungary.
yeah.
How do you like the Hungarian circuit?
I don't think it's one of the tracks where I'm very strong, but at least I enjoy racing on that track. It's a small, tight, technical track, and I
Yeah.
enjoyed those tracks the most. So hopefully we'll have a good shout there as well.
Yeah, well, for a moment in time there, I was thinking it wasn't a very strong track for you, and you might be giving somebody else a chance at claiming the top step on the podium. But it sounds like you enjoyed the track. So beware, everybody, again. Andy going for the three-peat.
We'll do our best.
Yeah, well, congratulations, my friend. Take care.
Thank you.
I don't think we've got fake Mano kicking around. Where is he? I know we've got Chili in here somewhere. Oh, we did have Chili. Chili's gone. Chili's gone. Not to worry. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. That is us done for Tier 2 this evening. I think now it's time to go where we love to go at this particular time on a Sunday evening. It's Tier 1. We're going to go over and join Punju and Midnight. So the link, hopefully somebody can post the link in the chat here if you'd be so absolutely wonderful and do that for me. That'd be amazing. And then we can move on and go and see Tier 1. Let's hope that Tier 1 is a lot cleaner than last week. Can they follow in the footsteps of Andy, Fake Mano and Chili Willy and have a clean race in Tier 2, in Tier 1, like these boys had in Tier 2? Who knows? Take care. Thank you so much. Enormous amounts of love from me. That was Tier 2. It's Moose Racing League. Go and enjoy Tier 1, and I'll catch up with you sometime, no doubt, next week. Sayonara.